Here's the Kirby Generation 4 with metal fan and white Micron Magic bag. There, I'm going to use it to go ahead and vacuum up the rest of the junk off the floor. And then I'll go over it with the Dyson and see if the Dyson can outperform this Kirby. I think in the long run, the Dyson doesn't deep clean as well. I know on other floors that I've used it on that it has a tendency to seem to push stuff down on the floor. I've seen that after I've used it a couple weeks in a row, that if you get down and look in the carpet fibers and dig down the backing, you see a lot of stuff that's been pushed down. I think it does well on this carpet because, like as I said, it's an old carpet. It's kind of matted, so it helps. It can tear the fibers loose to get to the dust that's stuck between them. Where with the Kirby's, their brush rolls are much gentler. So I think that's one reason in here it seems to always perform the Kirby's. So we'll give it a try though with the G4 and see what happens. I've never done this before, so we'll find out. Now the Dyson. Well, it looks like the Generation 4 even was beat. I think some of the dirt, though, is coming from the cyclones chambers on top of the Dyson. They have a tendency to plug up, but it is picking up. I think it picks up more on this older carpet where it's frayed. After I've been using the Kirby's, though, it has picked it. The Kirby's have lifted the carpet pile up, where with the Dyson, it didn't seem to do that as much. That's one thing I have to say the Kirby's have done with this carpet, and it's a lot fluffier than it used to be. It used to be pretty matted. But I think it goes back, as I was saying before, that this carpet is unraveled. The little fibers are loose. They're still wound, but they're not as tight as they used to be. So it's kind of like, if you could almost imagine, it's kind of like a matted jungle. And with the Kirby's and its softer bristles, they kind of rake off on the surface, but they don't pull the fibers apart to get down to a lot of the stuff underneath. So I think that's why the Dyson seems to beat them on these tests, is because of its brush roll. This is a very old carpet. It's in its deep pile. The fibers on it are not as tight as they used to be, and I think that's why the Dyson wins on this. I walked that stuff in pretty good, that dirt, but I don't think it made it all the way to the backing, and so a lot of it, I think, was trapped in the fibers. The Kirby gets a lot of it, but I think a lot of that stuff is what's caught in the fibers, that because of the Kirby's softer bristles, it can't pull out. I think it would get it out, but it may take it a couple of vacuumings comparative with the Dyson getting, with just the one, where it gets the stuff out of the carpeting. I don't think the Dyson does as well as getting the stuff off the backing because of lack of suction across the head, where with the Kirby it gets stuff off the backing. So I think each vacuum, there's no perfect vacuum out there. Each one has its pros and cons. In this case, in here, the Dyson's violent and stiff bristles work better than the Kirby's softer bristles, where with the Dyson it relies on its brush roll for the cleaning, where with the Kirby they rely kind of more on the suction to help kind of lift or I should say airflow, where it's not suction that cleans, it's the airflow to pick the carpet up to the head and kind of and lift the stuff up where the bristles just kind of help scrape the carpet, or brush the carpet to help kind of lift them. Where with the Dyson, it's relies mainly on its brush roll to do the cleaning, so it's really stiff, so it just really separates the carpet fibers and beats the fibers and gets this stuff up out of the fibers, but I don't think it picks up a lot of the stuff off the backing.